Hello and welcome to Top Sim. My name is William Lebowski. Step out of the TARDIS. I hope you had a pleasant journey because we have traveled back in time to the 1991 United Kingdom here at the historic Silverstone, which meshes up perfectly with this GT1 class of cars. Awesome to be able to have a in-time period track, or a bunch of tracks in AMS2's case, to be able to race these historic cars. And as we will talk into the commentary in the race as it goes, talking about the difference between where these cars were in their place in time, where we perceive them now, and how that lineage has translated into the modern class of race cars that we have these days. Because without Group C, without GT1, we would not have the current Formula One, LMP1 hypercars that we do see today. And quite frankly, it's a real pilgrimage to Mecca, so to say, every time I get behind one of these historic prototypes like a Group C car or a GT1 car, because it just really makes me appreciate my favorite class of car right now, which is the LMP1 or hypercar, as they are transitioning now. And so it really makes me go back and appreciate what these are and what I have now. And it's just a boatload of fun because these cars do not handle like the current generation of cars handle today. You're going to have a ton of power and not quite modern aerodynamics and suspensions, and so it leads to a handful at high rates of speeds. Anything can go wrong at any point in time. Incredibly exciting at all points in time. A really fantastic death trap to race in. Highly recommend it. It's one of those ones that kind of sleeps by me, so I don't want to let it sleep by you in AMS2. But anyway, have a good time. Enjoy the race. We'll see you in the next one. You know, this is a... This is a real uncanny valley kind of driving experience for me, being in this GT1 class of car, because they are historic cars at this point. You know, they're definitely retro, and they still have this very modern feel to them. In a different way, the Group C class, for example, if you're looking at the Mercedes Sauber C9, was an incredible piece of technology and was very, 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 very much at the cutting edge for its time. However, when we get in it now, we can appreciate, we can appreciate that heritage that the car has, but we don't necessarily think of in terms of its driving ability as something to rival cars right now. Potentially, the speed was there, the power was there, because those cars were incredibly fast, and the reason why the Mulsanne Straight has chicanes now, because they were just achieving too high speeds. And if we look at these cars coming after them, the GT1 class, for me, I think about, like, these are modern race cars in my eyes still, even though, as we have just already established, you could probably consider them retro, classic, almost cars at this point. And, well, they do have the power, and they were a huge jump in aerodynamic achievement. They are not the current aerodynamic leaders and powerhouses that we have today. If we remember, it wasn't that long ago seeing the car that's actually directly in front of us, that Mercedes, flip end over end at Le Mans on the straight. So it was still before they kind of really figured out downforce and how much to have at all different points of driving, whether it be an incredibly fast straight, an incredibly fast corner or a slow corner, what have you. They kind of have that more or less figured out now, where you can take these big behemoths of powerhouse units of cars that are essentially jets with upside down aerodynamics, instead of to keep them up in the sky to glue them down as much as possible to the pavement. These modern marvels of technology that we have now, and it's easy to think like, these GT1 cars are not from that long ago. Surely they still have some of that in them, but it's right before that time period in which we really grew the shall we say, ability of the fast car, so to say. And so it's a real treat to get in this car and drive this previous era and to see how things change and how they progress, especially when you consider the progression from Group C to these cars and then up to the modern prototypes that we have today, from the Porsche 919 all the way up to today's Toyota TS 050. And then, of course, the hypercar, which I don't know that anyone is incredibly excited about specifically. I mean, I'm a big prototype guy. I love it. It'll definitely, still be an awesome class to watch, and the races that they're in are still going to be amazing. But me personally, especially having said everything we've just said, we have the aerodynamics more or less under wraps. I don't necessarily understand why we would move to slow the cars down to bring the whole field closer together, because I did like the disparity between LMP1 and LMP2 cars in terms of speed and power. Huge lockup there. All right, finally into the rear end of this little gruppetto. Seems like we were just yo-yoing off the back of them for a very long time, so very much need to try to keep myself in it. Oh, a little bit of sideways up in front of me. That's going to be a double pass in the chicane. Little, well, not a little, big bobble by that Porsche. I never get on the brakes early enough for that corner. Although that was a much better improvement upon last time. Tried the switchback way too early. Went for it again, but just did not have the momentum to carry it through. Trying to take the inside, but we just don't have the mustard. Trying at one last-ditch effort. Did not really mean to run you off the road, but it did happen. So for that, I apologize. All right. I think we have... Oh, no, I was going to say another F1 in front of us, but I think that might be a Mercedes. So now we are leading this little gruppetto. Let's see if we can bring them up to this other leading group in front of us. Uh-oh. Someone going down the inside for a late lunge. I'm going to be honest, I don't think that was a good move. Let's see, are we going to take revenge on that, or are we just going to get back to getting on our horse, pretending like it didn't happen? All right, a little bit of bobbles there. We got to keep this position. Lockup heading into the corner, still getting beat to the apex. Guy wants to stop right in front of us on the apex. Let's do the correct over and back now on him. Come on, do it, do it. There it is. Take him wide, get the switchback. All right. We got 1 minute left, and the car in front of us was the meanie that made that terrible move on us. And we got to get that position back from him. There's no way we're letting him take that spot like that from us. And it looks like this Porsche behind me is even more hungry than the McLaren that made that terrible move on me. All right, this F1 is going to bring us up to that Mercedes, potentially, although this is... Oh, no, I think we're looking at time +1, so I think we have one more lap after this one. So if it can bring us up to that Mercedes, we can try to make a double. Oh, guy's going in at the inside at the same exact point, but luckily doesn't knock me off of the racetrack. Here's going to be a potential for the move. Don't feel bad diving on them after they dove on us. Now we just got to get ourselves up to that Mercedes, hopefully. Although our priority has been met. we have gotten that position away from the McLaren that wronged us. Ooh, a little bit of counter steer to keep us pointed in the right direction there through that corner. Really got to slow down for this one. I never slow down enough, and I got to get on the brakes early enough here. Oh, that McLaren is just trying to ruin our race at this point. All right, let's stay cool. Let's stay calm. Same move on that same car. Let's see, is race over here, or are we going to do one more lap? I think we got one more in us. Yep, final lap. Here we go. All right, that Porsche is so hungry behind us. They are definitely trying to get around us. They want our position very badly, and it looks like through these couple of corners we've gotten a lot closer to this Mercedes. All right, are we in a draft right now? I think we are. I think we're in a little bit of a slipstream. All right, it's possible. All right. No. No. We overshot the corner. No, 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 no. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. All right. Is there anything that we can do to save it from here? Or should I just be happy that we're going to be finishing this race and hold off from what's behind? Just accept we've lost the position. I think we have. Yeah, I think there's no way we're getting back up to that car by the end of the race. Wow, that McLaren. I spent more time paying attention to the McLaren. Man, on the final lap too. Spent way too much time paying attention to that McLaren, and it ruined our top 10. We lost 10 positions in this. Man, that is a disappointing way to end the video. But these cars are a battle. There is no free pass. There is no free lunch. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully that ending wasn't too anticlimactic for you. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm at a little bit of a loss right now. I can't tell if I should go back, re-record it, or if I should take my lumps. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Have some great racing.